Hey guys, what's going on? Legion Rudy here playing more RuneScape Dragonwilds. Welcome to Editor Gaming XP Run episode 122. And we've got some new cooking stations built. That's what we've been working on behind the scenes, sort of checking out the new things that we can make. So we were looking at that knowledge thing that you could make. It was a food. It's right here. It's a sweet veg bowl. But then we built these. And now you can do this one, which is reduces the amount of shock damage taken. And also gives the 10% XP boost. So duration is 600 seconds, which is crazy. That's quite a bit of time. Um, and so we're going to make these. But we do have a cooking potion with this, which obviously we want to do. And then we're going to make these. So that gives 713 XP, which is not crazy. But we've also got these we can make. So we're going to do that. And then there was also this other thing we were going to make, potentially, maybe not. So let's go back in here. Okay. So now we've got to keep all these XP boosts together. I don't want to get them all disorganized like everything else seems to be. So pretty much all these perm fires now are ready. The only problem is I don't really think I have anything that I can actually sort of make with all that clean water. That's the problem. So we're gonna have to figure that out. I just don't know what it is yet. I have more feathers. I'm not going to be using those. That's crazy, and I think it's sort of crazy to run around and collect Harlander. It's going to give quite a bit of XP though. Um, Trying to just sort of decide. We do have a little bit of small animal fangs we can use, and getting red berries is actually quite easy. We do have a little bit of antlers lying around as well, and then dwellberries. So I bet this gives better XP than just burning them inside these campfires. Not burning them, but using them in the campfires. I'm really getting disorganized, but you can see how fast it happens. So we've completely gone dysfunctional, and it literally took just about 2 episodes for everything to completely fall apart. So that's not good, and it's really bad on our part, as fixing it's not going to be fun. So let's go ahead and figure out what we can do here. So I believe the material was that we've got quite a bit of was my brain has stopped working. Let's go back. It was the animal fang, that's right. So that's going to make the ability to make a little bit of stuff, but ultimately not as much as we'd like. And I don't think we have that many animal fang. I guess we have a little bit, but it's going to be some cooking XP. So regardless, it's going to work out. I've got all that dirty water I could turn into clean water. The only problem with that is, what are we going to really make? I mean, I don't know what to make with it. So it's a little bit unusual. I probably got some more animal fangs over here in these chests that I can actually grab, that I've sort of just been throwing in there lazily. And that's why you don't want to do that. I do a lot of things I probably should not be doing that are just going to make things a lot more difficult for me later on. Like cleaning up all these chests. That's not going to be fun at all. So I don't see any more in there. I think we're pretty much good. But ultimately, still loads of fun with all these new recipes that have come to the game. And so this looks like what we're going to be doing here. And our cooking potion's still active, 863 XP. So, I mean, if we had more of these things sort of lying around, it would actually be better. But we don't. So, we're really going to have to start sort of planning out how we do things. Dwellberries are going to be big. We're going to want to pick those. Red berries, killing chickens, getting eggs, potatoes. So, maybe spending a little bit more time in the lower level areas. It's interesting, though, because I can't get everything I need from doing that. So, we're going to have to start really just trying to balance it all out. I'm trying not to get too lazy here with how I'm putting all this stuff back, because it's going to make it incredibly difficult later to fix it all. And obviously, at some point, I would really like to be in some sort of place where I'm not completely dysfunctional all the time. So let's take a look at what we've got going on here. We already had a second chest for that because we were making so many. So it's time to basically figure out where you can go get chickens fast. And if I'm not mistaken, it's right here. And I don't even have any more law runes. I sort of took them all out. And let's see which ones were the law runes. They're right here. So there we go. We're back in business. It's a good thing we didn't get sent somewhere too crazy and didn't have access to them. That would have been unfortunate. We would have figured it out, but I believe there used to be a lot of chickens right here. It's like by the gate and stuff over here. Sometimes they spawn in large amounts. Kill some kibits, get a little bit of resources. Course animal for yes, they. I think that's actually how I got all that. Before I was wondering where I got all the fur. I guess that's where I got it. So we're gonna kill some chickens, and obviously we're moving quite fast, so we got to slow down a little bit so we can make sure we collect everything from the chickens. You know, I'm grateful that they actually made a chicken, like gave it the egg, because I remember in RuneScape, the old one, chickens were a big part of the game. I mean, for low level players, even for high level players, you would often kill chickens. Just, I mean, I don't know, it was just such a basic animal in the game, but it was so much fun. I don't know why. It was sort of nostalgic to the old RuneScape. Um, Eggs were used in quests. I don't know how like crazy important it would have been like in actual importance wise, other than quests, but still a huge part of one of the beginning creatures that you're going to be killing in that game, and it's just like anything else, something that has nostalgic presence, I guess, in a game that you remember, and it was a big part. So we are just running up this hill collecting potatoes as well, as those are apparently going to be a big deal. So we are still getting a little bit of cooking XP while picking all these potatoes. Um, what we got going on over here? We got some cabbage that's obviously going to be potentially important. We got a cow. I guess we'll go kill this cow. And it's quite crazy, really, now what the game has sort of shifted and the things I'm going to be doing and how they've differed from what I've been doing for so long. Um, but it's not a bad thing. So looks like we've got lots of red berries we can pick. That's what's so great about the beginner area is just it's so plentiful with all these different things. It makes it quite enjoyable. But this is like so therapeutic. I use that word quite a bit. But I mean, it's relaxing. It's not like it's difficult. It's actually quite enjoyable. And I believe that to be the same for the old RuneScape. It's just sort of like casual, relaxed. Obviously, unless you're talking about boss fights and things like that. Um, that was a lot more, I guess, stressful. I believe at times dungeoneering was a little bit stressful. But all of our essence has actually responded as well. I don't really want to go do that right now. I'm sort of just hyped with all this new recipes that you can make and what I need to do to make that happen. And so rune crafting's sort of on the back burner right now. It's not a big deal though because obviously it doesn't take much to go shoot a bunch of those. We also got our 10% XP boost now apparently with those foods. So I think overall those things are going to be actually easier to adjust with. It's so weird too. It seems like the graphics are always changing and getting better in the game. Like right now, I can see it seems that there's a different graphic for these lily pads here. That's new. I don't believe these flowers were quite like this before. It seemed like it's like might seem like something really small, but I don't really come this way that often. So maybe it's not. Maybe it's just me, but it seems different. And like little things like that are actually a major deal. Um, I don't know. Sometimes I think it's just my graphics card potentially switching. It's a like basically maybe had problems or just I don't even know. How can I explain it? You can't. So I'm trying to make sense of it, and sometimes things just don't really make sense, and you can't find an answer. But we are grabbing all the potatoes. We're grabbing flax just because, honestly, you never know when that might become something you might need, and then you've got like 10,000 sitting in your base. And I clearly don't have that many, but at some point it might actually be a very valuable resource. So, why not pick it up? It does. I mean, I'm already on this path and sort of doing all these things, and very different from what we normally do. That's for sure. So it's a bit interesting for me. I'm still going to have a good XP update because cooking is going to have a large increase. Probably not so much as like the last two episodes, only because obviously those were the episodes where I was using all these stockpiled resources. And it's going to take some time to really learn the new recipes and then basically hunt for all these different resources that I'm going to need to do them in an efficient way. I would love to kill the cows, honestly, but the thing of it is, I guess we're gonna go kill a cow. But we are getting lots of XP in melee, which is good. We really want focusing on melee, and I probably shouldn't be now. but we just sort of are. I should probably switch to magic to do this, but it just like so much more fluent this way. You can sort of run an attack, pick things up, and then keep moving. But I feel like magic really slows the process down, and it's not my favorite thing when I have to be slowed down by different things. So, but obviously that's a problem because we do need to keep focusing on magic if we're ever going to keep leveling it up. Um, and it definitely needs to be leveled up. We do not have enough XP in magic. Range, I think, will come, slowly over time because we like to use that to kill sheep and ram, and we are going to need more resources. But I mean, ultimately, animal fangs seem to be the big thing. So it's maybe a good idea. I mean, if you really think about it, I can use animal fangs to make the drinks, and then I can collect all these resources out here. But right here, where I'm currently at, there's really not a lot of rats. But I do know where the rats hang out, so that's something I can sort of hit while working on rune crafting. You want to go here to this barn, and this is where all the rats like to hang out normally, and I don't actually see any up here right now, which is actually very strange. There used to be about 10 out here. It's possible they moved them out here because there's quite a bit more than there normally would be right here. I think the reason potentially was they knew that well, let's see what they're dropping now. Coarse animal fur. I don't remember these guys dropping coarse animal fur. It's not every time it is. I don't quite remember that. So it's possible that they moved some of them further out because they're going to be dropping different things, and they didn't want it to be where you could sort of just basically get them so quick and then leave there, and then just go about your business. It might be too easy at that point, and unless you come up here again, let's see. Sometimes that happens in a game where you sort of come back up and then they spawn in. Let's see, there they are. So maybe not. There was quite a bit of rats down there though, but this is how I got all my animal fangs. Basically, just grinding these guys over and over to get different XP and different skills. Let's go ahead and switch to magic because we can actually, that'd be great to have multiple skills get some XP done in them. I definitely feel like magic has been neglected in such a large way. So let's go ahead. And then one-shot kills for these guys, which is actually quite nice with magic. So, but basically you could just come here every once in a while after it responds, and then you're going to get quite a bit of resources that you would need to make those new drinks. So quite a bit of rats out here as well. And we're getting like terrible magic XP. But I suppose if you really wanted to, you could use the 10% XP boost while collecting resources for cooking. I guess it wouldn't really matter, right? It would just be extra XP. So one shot kills, but your stamina goes down. So you could also use potions to help your stamina not go down while you're doing this. But basically the rats are spawning in rather fast. I'm not sure if it was just like extra ones or they're all going to spawn back. And it looks like they're all spawning back. It looks like anyway. This would be another good way to do it too. You don't even have to necessarily go down there. You can sort of do it from up here. And then what you're going to do is basically collect all the resources. But that's not working. I thought I had a really good idea. And it's a terrible idea. It's not hitting any of them, so I'm too far. Let's take a look what's going on over here. None of them spawn back. No chickens out there. So let's go back here and see what's spawned in that we potentially might be able to kill. No chickens. Let's look. Not much going on here. Let's see. I was going to try to shoot down the essence, but it's not seemed to be going down. Let's see. Nothing I can really kill. Okay. These guys. Oh, there we go. We got some rats right here. 3 of them. It's not really a big deal when I can, like, just killed about, like, 30 of them. So, there's 4 of them. I guess it's actually quite a bit. But this is pretty much what it is. Just a grind. Getting everything you need. And, there's also some red berries here. Let's see. We got some more rats. And no chickens. But lots of rats. That's just good because you're going to get your animal fang, and you're also going to get other resources that you might actually need that could be beneficial to have. We've already got so much of most of these things, but obviously a lot of people might not have as much, and I'm not sure which stage of the game you're at. But the more and more they add to the game later, obviously it becomes an issue of now you're playing the game and you're collecting every little thing that drops on the ground, which isn't a bad thing. It prepares you for different stages of the game that are still to come. So it's actually quite interesting when skills come out later and you've already sort of done certain things. Now you sort of have to backtrack and do all these extra things at a different point in time, which almost, it's a backtrack for sure. But if you're just starting to play the game or you haven't made that much progress yet, it's perfect for you guys. It's a great opportunity to really catch up and put yourself in a really good position. So let's go ahead and check out everything that we just got. And let's see. So we got 28 more fangs. We got, looks like quite a bit of course animal fur, raw bird meat. So we've got quite a bit of stuff. 22 potatoes, 78 dwellberries. Let's go ahead and grab a little bit of water out. And then we're probably going to make a little bit of potions that we can. We're going to walk really slow because our inventory is really full. So let's go ahead and pop a cooking potion really quick. Just do a little bit more and then do an XP update and then call it a day. I feel like this episode's pretty long already. Sort of brought you guys along for the adventure of just trying to find all these new and interesting things. So here we are. So we can make a little bit of these. We got some more feathers. It's quite nice. Let's see what else we got. So we've got these. So do we want to use it for that? I guess we will because we've got lots of red berries already. So that won't be a bad thing. Lots of XP though, that's for sure. Okay. And then we're going to use our animal fangs that we just got. So we just got like another 1829 XP. So that's amazing. And then we've got some chicken here. So we can drop this in. And it's not really nighttime. I'm not going to wait around. We'll make some eggs as well. But there we go. So the killing the chickens is actually huge. I'm really glad they decided to add that egg for it. I think it just makes it way more nostalgic and a bigger reason to really go kill chickens because I think there's something that was sort of forgotten in the game. It's not like you're like, oh, here we go today. We're going to go kill a bunch of chickens again. It sort of really got left behind, and I'm glad that now that it has such a bigger purpose. And I'm sure throughout the game, they will still be useful. So, with later recipes and things like that. So this is all going to keep going. It's not going to be a lot of XP. So we're just going to jump to an XP update. I think we got quite a bit done. We explored a lot of the new recipes and really having a good time right now. And I'm glad I found this because it sort of gives me something that I can work towards other than what I was currently, focused on, which was very repetitive at this current time, obviously, with having done it so many times. I've still got to clean out all these chests. I've got so much work to do. But anyway, guys, let's do an XP update. So 321,000 attack XP. We worked on that a little bit. Range 56,000 XP. Woodcutting 1,001,000. Construction 2,013,000. Rune crafting 937,000. Magic 123,000. Worked on that a little bit. Mining 4,220,000. Artisan 4,126,000 XP. And cooking 418,729 XP. So that's a substantial amount of XP that we got just in this episode. I think it's absolutely crazy. Obviously, we're going to keep working on progressing to Road to Max and checking out all these new recipes and working really hard to just keep doing and getting results. So hopefully you guys are enjoying our content. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your adventures on RuneScape Dragonwilds. And until next time, Legion Huda out.